Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back after a long time, and I am back with my long-term ownership review of my bike, the Classic 350. It's a 2015 model and it's currently done around 21,680 kilometers. So I'll be dividing this video into 4 parts. Part 1 will be this one, where I'll explain a few things about the bike and the quality of the parts. In part 2 I'll explain some of the observations that I've made riding on this bike, and in part 3 I'll tell you what are the changes that have taken place for the BS4 model, and part 4 will be my verdict on this bike, whether you should go for it or should you not go for it. So stay tuned for the ownership review of the bike. So let's get started with the ownership review, guys. So this is the part 1, and in this part I'll be explaining a few things about my bike and the quality of the parts that are there on the bike. So the first thing will be the wheels and the tires. The front tire and the back tire both are MRF Nylo grip zappers. You can see that here. It says Nylo grip, and the front one is a 90 by 90 and the rear one is a 110 by 90 tire. The thing with this tire is it offers good grip in the dry conditions, but on wet roads the grip is insufficient and you often tend to skid when you apply the brakes. And the wheels, the front wheel is a 19-inch wheel and the rear wheel is an 18-inch wheel. Both are steel wheels. Because they are made of steel, they are pretty heavy, and the two, they have a lot of spokes. I think around 36 or 40 spokes is what they have. And the problem with this wheel is they often tend to get misaligned because it's a spoke wheel. You have to keep drawing the rim for the wheel to be aligned, and every 500 to 600 kilometers it will have to be done. So that's a big headache on this wheel. And the next thing which I would want to tell would be about the light, front light. The light is a 60 watt high beam and 55 watt low beam. It's a halogen bulb, and let me show here. It's a halogen bulb there. It's not the LED bulb, but it offers good throw and good illumination at night. So riding in the dark is not a very big problem on the bike. And the next thing which I would want to talk about would be the suspensions. The front and rear, both the suspensions are made by a company called Endurance. Let me show that to you here. If you can see what's written over here, it says Endurance. I don't think the camera is focused enough, but it says Endurance. So Endurance is the company which has manufactured these suspensions. To handle the weight of the bike, what they have done is they have stiffened up the suspension, so on bad roads it doesn't offer you the kind of pliant ride that 150cc commuters offer you. So it's neither too hard nor too soft, but just okay, it just does the job. And the next thing is the speedometer. Of course, speedometer is very basic on this bike and doesn't have any kind of information, and it has got an amp meter, doesn't even get a fuel gauge, so that's a big letdown. But nevertheless, it's not that they are very essential, but it would have been a good add-on to have the features like trip meter, a digital gauge, such as other things like that. And then I would like to mention about the tank. The tank is a 13.5 liter tank, and on a full tank you will get a range of around 450 to 500 kilometers. It gives around 35 to 40 kilometers of mileage, so you easily get around 450 to 500 kilometers of range, and that's pretty good comparing it to current day standards of mileage. And the other thing which I would like to tell would be the seat and the riding comfort. Both the seats are very comfortable on this bike, the pillion and the rider. And what I mean by that is, like, when you compare it to current day bikes costing around 1.5 lakh, you get a lot of sports bikes in that range, and they all have a rear seat which is kicked up, and pillion will have to put a lot of effort to just climb onto the seat, and the seat would not be comfortable as well. But this seat is a very comfortable seat for the pillion, and you can manage rides of around 100-200 kilometers continuously in a pretty easy manner on the seat. And the riding position as well, the handlebars are raised, you can see that they are very raised, and the seat is low, it's just around 780 mm from the ground, so it's a very low seat, lower than the R15 seat, and the handlebars are raised, so you will be sitting upright, and the foot pegs are front set as well, so it's not as front set as in a Thunderbird, but as you can see from that seat, foot pegs are much forward than the seat, it's somewhere in near the tank pads, so the position is very comfortable and you can ride long distances easily. And the last thing which I would like to tell you about the bike would be the engine itself, the engine and the vibrations. Royal Enfield engines are usually associated with vibrations more than anything else. So the vibrations can be cut down to a great extent by changing engine oil on a regular basis, and I have made 2-3 other videos where I have shown you how to cut down on the vibrations of the bike. So around 70 to 80 kilometers an hour, this bike is just as smooth as any other bike, but beyond that, it's still the same thing, same old Royal Enfield, it vibrates bad, and it doesn't inspire any confidence for you to ride on the highway. And oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about the brakes. Brakes are very horrible and very bad. In fact, the rear brake, you need to keep tightening the nut here, the nut there, you can see that nut you need to keep tightening every 200 to 250 kilometers once, depending on how much you use the rear brake. And the front brake, it locks up very easily, just have to tap like this, and see, there is no play at all. This is the only kind of play that's there, and you just have to do this and it just locks up. And on rainy days, that's very dangerous, and it tends to skid a lot, more so because of its length. This bike is almost 7 foot long, and majority of the weight is sitting here, the front part of the bike, so it tends to skid a lot when you apply the brakes. So that was part 1 for you guys, and here I have explained few things about the bike, and of course, yeah, about the part quality. The quality of the parts is pretty ordinary, they don't last very long. For example, you can see this pipe here, it's called the breather pipe, and that keeps getting cut here at the bend very easily, so every 1 or 2 months once you need to keep checking on that and changing that. And of course, the rear brake shoe needs to be changed every 1500 to 2000 kilometers once. It's very horrible. And air filter, because we live in a dusty city like Bangalore, even that needs to be changed very often. And regarding the general availability of parts, if you go into a pretty big service center or anything, you must be able to get parts easily, so that shouldn't be a big problem. So that's it, guys. That was part 1, and in part 2 I'll be giving you some observations that I have made by riding on this bike for 2 years. So stay tuned for